Back when I was a kid, Audi had two very popular and successful cars, the Audi 4000 and the Audi 5000. And then an episode of 60 Minutes came around that showed a concept known as unintended acceleration that affected particularly Audi 5000. And that's where the saying to this day comes from, I'm Audi 5000. I'm taking off without any prior warning. And so the people were terrified of Audi 5000s. They thought that they were going to turn them on and go rocketing off to their death. Well, sadly, that story wasn't altogether true, in that most unintended acceleration, whether Audi or otherwise, has to do with the person driving the car inadvertently pressing the gas pedal instead of the brake pedal, but it nearly bankrupted Audi, and so Audi had to reevaluate its entire brand concept, and later on they came out with a new line of cars, the A4, the A6, and so on. Now we even have A5s, A7s, A8s, to name just a few. And this is the new, they call it the V8 generation, or the Type 8K. Audi A4 came out in 2007 as a 2008 model, and I know that they're seen a little bit conspicuously because of some quality control issues, and some of that's earned and some of it's still a little bit of hysteria from the old days of Audi, but we'll learn what separates one from another when it comes to Audi A4s. Let's pop the hood and start there. The Audi A4 comes with just one engine type. Now, I mentioned that V8 or Type 8K chassis designation. It actually comes out in several variations. One is the A4 as we know it. One's the A4 Wagon, or the A4 Avant. Then there's the S4, which is their high performance version, and then the RS4, which is their ultra hot rod variation. All A4s are going to come out with the same 2-liter turbocharged motor. It has 211 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. So that's not super duper fast, but it goes 0 to 60 in about 6.5 seconds. Well, that's great with an automatic transmission. And it still gets about 24 miles per gallon combined. Well, that's really good too with all-wheel drive. So although numerically not gargantuan horsepower numbers, they're actually very, very quick, and they do get very commendable gas mileage for what they're all about. If you get a front-wheel drive version, it comes with a CVT transmission. That's like one supersized gear. It's a continuously variable transmission, and so instead of shifting through gears, it sort of modulates through a series of processes without actually having gears. The problem with that CVT is it's proven to be less reliable than its typical transmission counterparts. In fact, earlier than this body style CVTs, Audi was vulnerable to a class action lawsuit that they had to settle because the CVT had so many problems. The 8-speed automatic that comes with all Quattros has, to my experience, been a very good transmission, and I've heard very few, if any, complaints about that transmission. I have heard complaints when it comes to the S4 with an 8-speed automatic transmission. Sometimes maybe the horsepower of that engine can overwhelm the transmission, and I'm just guessing at that. I've sold enough of them where I've heard transmission issues come up on the S4, but I've actually never had a problem with a 8-speed transmission in an A4. Now, there's 3 different packages on all these A4s, and so you're going to hear this all the time. Premium, and the Premium Plus, and then Prestige. When you see the nice headlights, the LED headlights, that's kind of Audi's claim to fame. They really changed the way everybody looks at headlights. Everybody's trying to have cool headlights the way Audi has cool headlights. Those come on the Premium Plus package. If you get the Prestige, then it has everything in the Premium Plus, and then some. If you see 18-inch wheels, again, that's at least a Premium Plus. So the Premium comes with real leather, which is nice because all these German cars, in fact, all near luxury cars nowadays are coming with synthetic leather as the standard, but on the A4 it comes with real leather. It comes with 17-inch wheels. Premium Plus comes with 18-inch wheels. Also, if you see parking sensors, front or rear, that's going to indicate that the car has navigation. Now, taking a look inside, one of the great things about Audi, no matter what you get, is they really do have the single most beautiful interiors in the category, pretty much across the board, to be honest with you. You know, dealers like us who sell Hondas and Toyotas, we love all the virtues of our cars, and of course Honda and Toyota has a million great virtues. They just don't have interiors like this. They just don't. And so the steering wheel, very elegant. The leather interior, very posh. The way everything feels and lays out, very nice. The navigation unit is to die for. The navigation unit is so much nicer. Even in this model, this is a 2013, but it's much, much nicer than really any 2015 car. And I'm not talking about just in the near luxury segment. I'm just talking about in cars. They just have a really beautiful navigation unit. Now, this is that Prestige unit, and so when you get the Prestige, one of the signature things you get is a marvelous Bang and Olufsen stereo system, and so it looks like Bang and Olufsen. You'll hear a million different pronunciations. Bang and Olufsen, Bang and Olufsen. That's the most common variations that you're going to hear. Jumping in back, one thing about being a small car is that although you're comfortable in the front, you know you're going to be a little bit compromised in the back. But you know what? No, not at all, actually. You're actually very comfortable. I'm 6 feet tall, 175 pounds, and I'm all kinds of comfortable back here. Again, that leather interior, it feels really nice. I mean, the seats, they're firm, but not too firm. It's a really good feeling car. Now, in the Quattro, one of the things you have that you don't have in the front-wheel drive car is you have a drive shaft that goes all the way through the back and a center differential. And so really that compromises. You'd think you'd have to raise up the floorboard and everything like that, and that's going to make your space smaller inside the car. But when they designed this car, they designed it was going to be Quattro all along. So the interior dimensions are going to be the same between the Quattro and the front-wheel drive variation. A neat thing about the Quattro is that RS4 that I mentioned earlier. That's their super duper high performance car. One thing they learned before this generation is that instead of a 50-50 all-wheel drive split like they had before, the RS4 came out with 40% split in the front, 60% in the back. And so they call that a Torsen T3 differential. And so that Torsen T3, it has a little bit more oomph in the back than in the front. So the Quattro all-wheel drive car drives much more like a rear-wheel drive car. So for people who like performance, you're going to like the way the Quattro drives a lot. Trunk space, well, a little car is going to be belittled for having too little trunk space. But when I look at the A4, it's like, you got to be kidding me. How can you be critical of this trunk? This is a pretty small overall car that's very spacious inside. So I would expect when I pop the trunk lid, it's going to be teeny tiny in the back. No, not the case at all. It's actually super, super roomy in the back. And then again, when you get the Premium Plus package, or the Prestige as this one is, you're going to get fold-down rear seats as well, which you like. And then also, here's those parking sensors that are part of the same package when you get a Premium Plus with nav, or when you get any Prestige model. Now, this has push-button start. There's a little slot here. This receptacle is where the key goes in. So if I get a Premium or a Premium Plus, I actually have to put the key inside of here. If I get the Prestige, I can just push button. Gorgeous, gorgeous navigation unit. Great stereo system. Let's see what we got playing here.
Time flies when I'm on that, but I won't put a don't blame. Work it like a pro, sit and watch it go. Do a thing out on the floor, she bouncing fast.
Nice. Great stereo, really great stereo actually. I mean, if you got a Bang & Olufsen stereo for your house, probably about $5,000. And so here it's just part of the package in the A4 Prestige. It's got beautiful wood accents, beautiful color leather. The brown interior is really nice. It looks great with the wood. Nice accents up on the dashboard as well. If you want a great car that's not a ton of money, I mean, this one's 21,000 miles. They have a 4-year, 50,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, so you can at least feel comfortable that you're protected by the manufacturer until then. This car is a little over $30,000, so again, not a ton of money for what you get. They do have really, really strong resale value from here, especially in the Pacific Northwest or anywhere where weather's a factor. And if you have any questions about this particular A4 or anything to do with Audi or anything that we have here at Honda of Seattle or Toyota of Seattle, please don't hesitate to reach out. My name is Joe Tunney. I'm the pre-owned director of Honda of Seattle and Toyota of Seattle. You can reach me anytime at joet@hondaofseattle.com.